Why do I have this engine in my garage? Look familiar? Yeah, we're back, baby. We are in the garage again, and it's time to do some stuff. So we got the old engine here from my Honda that we had a few months ago that I rebuilt, and for some reason it didn't work. I want to pull this apart. I don't want to see why exactly this engine did not hold compression for very long, and at the same time take some parts off of it that we can use elsewhere or sell so that we can reinvest that money into the old Cherokee here. But first today, the Cherokee needs to get an oil change. It's been a minute, and a few other little things. I'm gonna put on some fun blind spot mirrors here. I got this heated seat cover because we do live in Canada, and I'd like to keep my tushy warm when I'm driving, and this was on sale, so we'll see how that does. Just a few extra things. We went with the Pennzoil Platinum High Mileage, super synthetic. This engine has seen 8,000 kilometers since the last oil change because it's had that same stuff in it from the previous owner. This will be my first oil change in this since owning it. And the oil, even after all this time, it's still fully filled up, nice and golden. It's perfect. This engine seems to be super, super healthy. So we're going to put the best in it again, have a synthetic oil filter, and make sure we keep this thing running for a very long time to come because we want to keep this for a while and make it look super, super cool. Definitely have some plans and ideas with this one we're going to be doing in the summer. First starting with kind of cleaning it up and maintenance, and then maybe some light upgrades to it. Some crazy ideas in my head, but we plan on having this for a long time. So we're going to do it slowly over the course of this coming year and just get this oil change done so then we can go check out what's wrong with that other engine there. All right, so let me just show you what your oil should look like after your oil change. If you've got a healthy motor, oops, I think I wiped some away there. All right, here's what it should look like. So it's been 8,000 kilometers, full synthetic, and look at this oil. I'm kind of holding it upside down. All right, so after 8,000 kilometers, look at the color of that oil. It's still nice and golden. Even where it's thickest, it's still not too bad. And I mean, I've been holding it sideways now, so it's kind of there, but it was within the safe margin, and it's this nice, beautiful color. If your oil still looks like that after 8,000 kilometers, you shouldn't have anything to worry about in your engine. Hear that? The old girl's taking a leak. And while we're getting out all those old oils, just gonna clean off the oil drain thing here. I love Chryslers with their built-in gasket. I mean, I haven't had any issues with it, but it'd be kind of nice to be able to replace it every time if I could. Clean this off, let that drain. In the meantime, I'm going to work on putting this little girl in, having fun with that, blind spot mirrors. And then we can crack open that engine and that'll be the real fun. This is just like a day in the life right now, I guess. It's been a little while. I want to bring you guys some content. I know if any of you are watching this that have been watching those couple videos that got a lot of attention lately. How to bleed your clutch, the ultimate guide on swapping a V20 in your car. Greatly appreciate it, man. I do this for fun, and I want you guys to learn. If you think it's cool, it's amazing. The more of you that watch, the more motivated I am to do some real crazy stuff. So keep that going. Follow me on Instagram. There's more stuff there every day. I know, whatever. Let's move on. Alright, so oil change is done, all grills filled. Now we're just going to start it up, get the oil flowing, check the level again, and then this will all be done. Move on to some fun stuff maybe. Got the heated seated, Got our blind spot mirrors in. Looking good. A few little things to freshen this up. Nice cheap things that we can do to make it more enjoyable to drive. Let's start it up in this garage. That's gonna sound great. Brum brum. Double, triple check everything. A little paranoia is good when you're working on cars. Make sure that you don't fuck it up. Pressure came up good in the green. Check for leaks, always. Looks good. Pull this, pull the dipstick, clean it off. Always clean it before you read it. I'm sure you know that, but if you didn't, you're welcome. I don't know, this might not focus again. But yeah, you can see it's a beautiful color now, and it's in the safe zone there. I'm gonna check it again a couple times, but should be good to go. All right, fresh oil in this little girl here. I installed our little seat cover. Looks pretty good, pretty clean. From here, I was able to tuck it in pretty nice. The back here is a little loose just because it's a universal fit, right? So with the bolstering, but you know, when you sit in it, it's fine. Doesn't look too weird. I tried it out for a few seconds and we got heat. So the cable runs right down here, straight over. Got my switch here, and then over to my 12 volt there, because this one here I have for my dash cam. And in the Cherokees, if you didn't know, they have 12 volt ignition and they have a constant 12 volt here. And if I leave my dash cam plugged into here, it'll just like kill the battery if you don't drive this every day pretty much. Not to say that this doesn't work. It does have an internal battery, so don't try no sneaky shit. But yeah, so I have my heated seat one plugged into this, and that's not going to use fucking any power, so that's good. I can always unplug it if I want. I got the blind spot mirrors in. Bam. I got these little bigger wedge ones. Normally I just get the circle ones. I thought these would give me maybe more surface area to see, but they look kind of goofy. I'll say they're a little bit too big for this. I'll show you here. Mainly what I use them for is backing up into my spot. I need to see where my rear wheels are and my distance between things. Otherwise I just wind up putting the window down and, you know, doing one of these. So that's why I like the blind spot mirrors. But I love it for vehicles that don't have backup cameras, being able to just use it whenever you're reversing and use that to place exactly where your tires are. And now that I'm sitting here looks good. Looks like a good setup. Why do I have this engine in my garage? You're probably wondering. Probably not. If you want to know why, I'll just tell you. We used to have a Honda Civic. It was turbocharged. Everything. The whole build sheet. It's on my channel. It's probably linked. You can go find it. Maybe you've watched it. Maybe that's why you're watching this. Any hoodly doodly. I rebuilt this dang thing from the bottom up. Pretty much all new parts, honed, all that good stuff. I have a feeling that the piston rings didn't sit properly and probably broke. It ran fine for a little bit, had compression, and then after a couple times, it just had no compression, wouldn't run again. And so we just went and picked up a B20, swapped that in, turboed it, had some fun, and now we sold that dang car. And we got this beautiful beast in the background, but that's a whole other thing. I want to see what happened here. I want to confirm if I'm right. So, why not take this thing apart? There's lots of good things in it. I might try and sell some of those. ARP head studs, brand new head gasket. I don't think people want to reuse that, but it's brand dang new. And we obviously took off some parts to put on the other engine, which is then sold. Obviously the upgraded oil pump, the headers, things like this. But I got brand new gaskets, all that good stuff. These black breathers in the back, might be able to do something there. So let's take a look. All right, there it is. The head is off. And still no real clear answers. Okay, so here's the block. Here's what we're looking at. Coming to this piston, there's like some stuff you can see sitting on it, but when I rub it, it's just gunk. Some dirt from my efforts. I dropped oil in here and stuff to try and bump compression. This is just stickiness from sitting here in these cylinder walls. A little bit of rust at the top, because I mean this has been sitting now since, oh god, August maybe? Been a very long time, but nothing in here immediately seems wrong. In these two cylinders at least, still feels smooth. You can see my honing job is probably not as good as it could have been. And it looks like there's some solid lines there from where the pistons are just like sitting, I guess. But I don't know. Nothing looks wrong here. This engine ran for a short amount of time, and it did have compression because it ran. But now it's like, what the fuck? Come over to the head here, flip it on its side for you. If you see anything wrong, let me know. So now going from, give me a second to think about this one. Okay, so trans side, so this side back is this side back. So this is the one that had the kind of gunk sitting in it. We've got some, I mean, I did clean and compound all of these and clean them as much as I could before putting it in and lapped the valves. But what I see, just some surface rust, probably from sitting with no manifolds on. If you were to run this, it would probably blow all that away instantly. And this here, just some gunk. Does not look like any pistons hit nothing. The timing was all perfectly fine. I don't see any indications that something in here got hit or damaged or is leaking or not functioning properly. If you see something to the contrary, let me know. Let's do a slow scan here. You can pause if you want, but this just seems some surface rust. Otherwise, everything in there is good. Everything in there seems good. So I guess the next thing is to, I'm gonna crank this over and see how these look inside here. And then we'll pull these out. I'm still just betting that the rings didn't set properly, something happened to them, and it no make compression. You could probably replace the rings and slap this back together and everything would be fine. But I don't have another Honda to test that, or the time or the money, or else I would throw this all back together and just start it as it sits without even dropping it in anything. And then alright, that's all we got time for today. So if you want to see how the rest of this goes, pulling it apart, if you're interested in more of that, make sure to subscribe. You'll see more coming. Finger guns, all the cool stuff. You know, I gotta make sure that you are intrigued and interested and locked and loaded, right? Okay, so this is all I had time for. With all this stuff going on now, I don't know exactly when I'll be back here again and have an opportunity to really dive more into this. Definitely closer to the spring, it'll be a lot easier to pump out more stuff. But anyways, we found out that there was nothing wrong in the head. Nothing up here is good. I can start to sell some bits here, maybe sell the head. We'll go into the bottom end and really see what happened with those piston rings for sure. And then, I don't know, do something crazy with this. Should we use it as a boat anchor? I don't know. What would Whistling Diesel do, right? What would Whistling Diesel do? Is that how you get views these days? Any hoodly doodly. That's it for this one. You can check me out on my Instagram if you want to see more regular content. If not, go back through all the playlists in this. Follow me on every goddamn where. You know the drill. Appreciate you very much, and I'll see you in the next one.
Guacamole to the party, I'll say no, no. If you ask me bring the guacamole to the party, I'll say no, no, no. That shit's too expensive.